Creamer Media's Mining Weekly Online is talking to Terence Goodlace, the CEO of Impala Platinum. Terence, can you tell us about the capital raising exercise in which you are entering to raise 4 billion rand?
What's been very key for us is to keep our strategy intact. It's important for us to transform the lease area and to bring to full production new shafts where the shareholder has invested significantly over the last 10 years. Collectively, the two shafts that we need to bring into production have had an investment of some 14 billion rand over the last 10 years, and it's now time to take them to full production. That's what we need the cash for. And in terms of where we find the prices right now, we're just not there to fund it, to fund that build-up in the current low price environment.
And that means you'll also bring in lower cost ounces.
Yes, all of those shafts are concentrated mining areas. They are focused. They bring more Merensky to the fore, and ultimately they will give us the opportunity to reduce some of the overhead costs associated with operating 14 shafts rather than 10 shafts into 2020.
And also tell us about your cost cutting, your capex cutting, and your shaft closures.
We've looked very hard at our costs, and if we compare ourselves to an escalated financial 2013 cost, because that was the last normal year that we had. In the interim, we've had some challenging years with strikes and build-up and ramp-ups. We're looking at cutting costs overall through the group by some 1.5 billion rand, and we've also dramatically reduced our capital for the group to 4.2 billion, of which 2.8 billion will be spent at the Impala lease area. The low price environment has put a lot of our shafts at risk. We measure intensively the contribution that each of those shafts make, and 8 and 12 shaft do not make a contribution into the second half of the year, and ultimately, if nothing changes, we need to make some decisions around closing those shafts. We do need, at this time, all shafts to contribute to the group.
And it's interesting that one of them is a mechanized part of a mine. Does that mean that mechanization is not really reaching the expectations?
If we look at the mechanized section at 12 shaft, it doesn't operate at the same productivity levels as Two Rivers or Mimosa or Implats. And that's the problem. You have capitalized those mining areas, and in conjunction with the lower prices, they no longer make a contribution. If one were at some stage in the future to have higher prices, you could always go back there. 8 shaft would have been depleted in 2017, 2018. It's mining on its extremities. It has long traveling times. It doesn't have much reserve left. It would naturally have been closed. What is being done now is an acceleration of that. Where it finds itself on its cost curve, it's no longer viable.
What all-in costs per ounce are you targeting?
Our cost for this year were over 22,000 rand per platinum ounce. We're targeting for this year to get just under 19,000 rand per platinum ounce.
I noticed that you're not cutting your social and labour plans, so does it mean that your housing projects are going ahead?
We've recently, at our Platinum Village, which the ultimate plan is to build 2,420 houses, we've recently completed the first phase, which was 557 houses, and the board actually approved the next phase of housing, which is 550 houses, and that's in our plan. We have decided not to cut any social and labour plan spending, and our total expenditure for this coming year will be some 200 million rand.
What marketing initiatives are underway now to ensure that the demand for platinum rises?
We're looking at on a number of fronts. The first one is on the jewellery side, so we continue to support that, although it's getting more and more difficult to fund that. So that continues. As you know, jewellery constitutes some 35% of the demand for platinum, and especially into China. And if we look at the marketing required to accelerate sales into China, we've got a whole lot of projects through the institution that we have that looks at it, the Platinum Guild International. We've also started as a collective, the platinum industry, the World Platinum Investment Council, and that is looking at stimulating demand through a number of measures, and that can be across the board, and making sure that platinum has its right place with investors.
Could you just update us on your Zimbabwean beneficiation plans?
Implats at this stage is running its smelter at full capacity. There's an opportunity for us to extend or to build a new smelter, and in so doing we can de-risk production at Implats. But at the same time, we could also create an opportunity to treat other platinum concentrates in the country, and that will further the beneficiation in country.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly Online, talking to Terence Goodlace, the CEO of Impala Platinum.